So the other day, I told my wife and my two small kids, you know what, let's get out of the house and let's go fishing. They were super excited. My kids went and ran and got their blankets and their teddy bears, and my wife went and packed an ice chest full of snacks and a jug of water because, we're going to be out there for 45 minutes. I got the fishing poles, threw them in the car, and we loaded up. We're about halfway to the fishing hole, and my daughter asked me, she says, Daddy, what kind of bait did you bring? Seriously? I forgot the fishing bait. That's like one of the most important things to bring other than the fishing poles. And this kind of reminded me of a quote from the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It says, life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might just miss it. Or forget the fishing bait. And I definitely agree with this quote, and I can think of 3 ways that it applies to my life. A backpacking trip that I took in Yosemite. Second is our time here at school, or my time here at school. And finally, it's our time with family that we get to spend. So let's go ahead and talk about my backpacking trip in Yosemite. Now, I went on about a 7-day trip, and I thought I had to impress. So I always put my head down and, charged right along, and was always the first or second one to arrive at our destination miles down the road. Miles down the trail, I should say. And a couple days of this, one of the older persons in our group finally said to me, you know what, you gotta ease up and just look at what you're missing and enjoy the view. Fortunately, I took their advice because after that, I was able to see some of the most beautiful country I've ever witnessed. Now that I've talked about backpacking, now I'm going to talk about our time here at school. In school we have all these assignments to do. This homework assignment, that homework assignment, this test to study for. We got to start studying for finals 2 weeks into school. All this crazy deadline. And I think it's important that we not forget that this is a great opportunity to build relationships and maybe even gain lifelong friends. Finally, now that we've talked about school, let's talk about our time spent with family. We all know that our family's not going to be around forever. And it's important that we not get stuck into the I got to do this, I got to do that routine, and to take a step back and cherish the moments that we have to spend together. Today we talked about how the quote from the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. We talked about how that incorporated in some of my experiences. We talked about my trip backpacking, we talked about time here at school, and we talked about time with family. So, next time you're on a trip, I think it's important that you pull on over to the slow lane and just enjoy the ride of life and not forget the important things.